Hey, what is up, investors? I'm Jason. In this video, I want to talk to you guys about the upcoming Rivian IPO. Now, no exact dates on when this EV company is going to be going public, but the interesting thing is this company is a lot more established than a lot of these other EV companies that have gone public through a SPAC merger, because Rivian is one that has had a factory for years. I've talked about Rivian before on this channel, even a couple years ago when this was a very small channel, and I was talking about Rivian having a deal with Ford and Amazon, and that deal is still there. Ford and Amazon are backers into this company, which make it very interesting. And the even more interesting thing is that Rivian has is going for a valuation of $70 billion. So they're kind of coming out there with a very high valuation, and is this really worth it? We'll have to talk about it in this video. So as we get to it, if you guys don't mind, please do me a huge favor. Please be sure to smash, destroy, or gently press that like button to help me out with the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe if you have not already, and if you want to be a Patreon, help out this channel, I have one. The link is in the description, and you can join the private Discord. All right, now let's get to this. Now, for the past 3 years that I've been following Rivian, it's just been these two vehicles here that they've been promoting, that they've had prototypes for, and these have been the same vehicle lineup that this company has been announcing. So they haven't been getting ahead of themselves, saying that they have like 5 other vehicles that they plan on bringing on the market, like some companies do, which I don't really like. I like that Rivian has stuck with that they have a pickup truck, the R1T, and an SUV, the R1S. Now, let's go real quick into the R1S just to get an understanding about what the price is of this vehicle. Now, right off the back, we know that it is a very stylish design. They have their own design that they go with for the front of the vehicles. That, you know, that's a Rivian vehicle. That's exclusively what this company does. You can tell the brand recognition, which is a great thing that they're doing here. Now, with the price of the vehicle, for this one, it's starting at $70,000 with a 300+ mile battery range, which is a great range in my opinion. And we'll get more into what their charging capabilities are here in a little bit as well. Now, to get into their pickup truck, though, this is the big thing, because this pickup truck was shown before Tesla even shown off the Cybertruck. So people were already excited about the R1T for a very long time. This was well before other companies jumped on this, before Ford had shown off the electric F-150. So the R1T was basically the first electric pickup truck that the people here in the United States knew about, that was going to be eventually hitting the market, and the prototype had been out for a while. Now, for this vehicle, it is starting at a price of $67,500 with a 300+ mile battery range. Now, I had a feeling we would be seeing this vehicle coming out soon in the market, because Blue Origin recently had a advertisement that actually showed Jeff Bezos driving the Rivian R1T to go stop over at the Blue Origin rocket pod when it had made its landing. So I knew that eventually we were going to be seeing this company possibly going public, and this was a low-key promotion, in my opinion, for Rivian when this Blue Origin ad came out. Now, we're going to be just covering the specs on the pickup truck, because it would be redundant to also do the same for the SUV, because the technology is the same. But for everybody that had pre-ordered the vehicle in advance and pre-ordered the Adventure version, which is their top-of-the-line version, they have that one in a launch edition, which you get it in this green that you can't get it any other way. Now, that version is already sold out. All the reservations are full, and the price of that vehicle is $73,000. Now, for everybody that did order the launch model, the deliveries for that start in July. It was originally set for June, but they pushed it a little bit, and so the delivery should be expected to come out in July. And then for the Adventure model, which is the same model as the launch model, that one, the regular one, will start deliveries in January of 2022 for the same price, $73,000. And then their Explorer model, which is a little bit lower end, deliveries for that start in January 22 as well, for a price of $67,500. Now, to get to some of the specs here on the battery, these batteries are able to withstand temperatures in hot and cold of 130 degrees Fahrenheit to negative 25 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, we know that the vehicles are coming out with a 300 plus mile battery range, and then in January of 2022, a 400 plus mile R1T will be available. And after launch, they'll be announcing the timing for a 250 plus mile battery range R1T. So, looks like they're going to have even lower cost pricing trucks available as well for people that don't need a battery that is going to be going those long distances. And as far as its performances, it says it will be able to drive through 3 feet of water rock crawl at 100% grade, handle just about any terrain with a 14-inch of ground clearance with a 0 to 60 mile per hour time in a quick 3 seconds depending on your tire selection. And they're saying it will handle like a sports car depending on what type of tire you use. They have the 20-inch all-terrain, 21-inch road, and 22-inch sports tires. Now, these vehicles have a low center of gravity to help them from rolling over, and they're built in aluminum alloy, ultra-high strength steel, and carbon fiber. And it says the R1T can tow up to 11,000 pounds in all variants when towing at full capacity, and you can expect a 50% reduction in range. Of course, you would expect that, though, with the more power that's being used. Now, as far as the platform that Rivian uses, we know that they use that skateboard design where they have the battery pack, the drive units, the suspension, and pretty much the thermal and lower body structure all in one piece, and that has helped to preserve space within the cabin. And it says that they have a quad motor drive, independent air suspension, and hydraulic roll control, which is standard on every Rivian. Now, as far as the charge times, the charging stations for the batteries for level 3 charging, it says the R1T and the R1S are able to charge up to 140 miles in 20 minutes. And that range can increase with over-the-air software updates. In addition to the Adventure Network, Rivian's vehicles can also use public DC fast chargers. Their level 2 charger is capable of charging roughly 16 to 25 miles of range per hour. And as far as the level 1, on a 120 volt charger, you'll get a few miles of range per hour. So just little key parts of information there that are important. And the last little vehicle spec part that's also important is that it does come in different colors. Silver and white are the standard colors, and then other colors will cost more. And they still have a green, just I guess it's not the same as their launch green, but they have different colors you can get, and then different rims that will be available for the different tire sizes as well. So that covers all that as far as the specs go. Now that we have an understanding of the specs of the vehicles, what we need to do is figure out is the valuation of $70 billion one that would be worth it, or even a lower valuation of, say, $50 billion. Is that a valuation that makes sense for this company? Now, there is no guaranteed number of how many pre-orders there are and how many deliveries that they're going to start making. What we do know is they have been producing vehicles. We know that they've been doing that for a little while now, and they do have ones that would be ready to ship. I don't know what the exact quantities of that is, but from last I heard, the pre-orders were around 50,000 pre-orders that were paid with a deposit of $1,000 to $2,000 from my understanding, but that information came out back in August of 2020. So I don't know any guarantee of how many vehicles there are now here in 2021, and that was so long ago, their pre-order numbers could be above 100,000 by now, give or take. Now, Rivian was founded back in 2009, so 12-year-old company, by R.J. Scaringe, who has a degree from MIT in mechanical engineering. The company is headquartered in Irvine, California, so it's in the Bay Area. It's in a very prime spot. But the very cool thing about this company is that they actually purchased a factory from Mitsubishi back in January of 2017, which is their main factory for building these vehicles. Now, they bought this factory from Mitsubishi for about $17 million, but since then, they put about $1 billion into it, expanding it and converting everything into being able to produce electric vehicles. So there has been a lot of money that Rivian has invested just into being able to do their production. And by looking at these pictures, which this gallery was put together in April of this year, we get an understanding of how their assembly line is working and get an understanding of how big this factory actually is, which we can see it is a full-fledged assembly line system here with many different employees working at this company, and it looks like that they have a whole lot going on with their production. So seeing how Rivian has their headquarters in California, which is also a place where they're doing a lot of their technology and stuff like that. But they're also doing, their full-fledged manufacturing in Illinois in a giant factory that is already all set up to be producing electric vehicles. That puts them in a completely different space than a lot of these newcomers into the EV space. A lot of these companies that have gone public through a SPAC, which a lot of those I do like still, but Rivian is not necessarily in that same class because they have a factory that is able to already be producing vehicles. They've already spent billions of dollars on it. They already have orders that are starting to ready be delivered. So a much different situation with Rivian. Plus, Rivian has 5,000 employees that is working at their factory. So they are in a really nice position, in my opinion. I really like everything that's going on there. But we need to look a little bit more into this company. Now, to read a little bit in this article that Bloomberg put out on May 28th, it says that Rivian could be looking to go public in later on in this year, and that Rivian is working with advisors including Goldman Sachs Groups Incorporated, J.P. Morgan Chase & Co., and Morgan Stanley, said the people who asked not to be identified because the matter isn't public. Rivian could seek a value of about $70 billion when it goes public, according to the people. Bloomberg News previously reported it could seek a valuation of about $50 billion. No final decision has been made, and the details of its potential listing could change, people said. Now, Rivian, of course, has had multiple funding rounds, and in their early funding rounds, they had Amazon and Ford in those, and Amazon has continued to actually back this company, and in this recent funding round that has just recently happened. Now, Rivian, of course, has had other funding rounds, and we know that one of the funding rounds in the past that was a big one that really got this company on the map was when Ford and Amazon made their investments in the company, and that's when things really started to expand for Rivian. But as time has gone on, of course, Rivian has raised even more money, and one of their most recent funding rounds, Rivian actually was worth $27.6 billion when it announced in January that it had raised $2.65 billion from backers, including T. Rowe Price Group Incorporated, Fidelity Investments, and Amazon, Bloomberg News reported at the time. So Amazon has made multiple investments in this company over time. Now, besides the vehicles that Rivian has to the customers for pre-orders, Rivian also has that big order that they got from Amazon. Now, if you're not familiar with this, Amazon ordered 100,000 custom delivery vans from Rivian. That was a big investment into this company, and that is a key catalyst for Rivian, other than everything else that's going on. This exclusive deal to make custom delivery vans for just Amazon is something that has a lot of value with the company, because that's already something that's guaranteed. And not only that, that it's guaranteed, they've actually already started producing these as well and actually started delivering these vehicles to Amazon. So there is some revenues that you can be expecting from Rivian as this company does go public. Now, this is the delivery van right here. This is the one that is cruising around in LA. Now, this article comes directly from Amazon, and it says there is a new vehicle delivering smiles to customers, and it's electric. Amazon customers' deliveries will look a little different in parts of Los Angeles. Just 1 year after announcing the purchase of 100,000 custom electric delivery vehicles as part of the Climate Pledge, Amazon has begun testing the new vans on delivery routes. More customers will see the custom electric delivery vehicles cruising neighborhoods in up to 15 additional cities in 2021, ahead of tens of thousands of vehicles hitting the road over the next few years. So with that, we know that already Rivian is the real deal, but are they $70 billion real deal with that information, which is great information? I'd have to say that they're doing a lot better than the majority of everybody else that is new in this field. But I think there is something even bigger, an even bigger catalyst to Rivian than 100,000 pre-orders from Amazon and however many pre-orders that they have for other vehicles for the regular driver. And that is that their charging network is another giant catalyst for Rivian. Now let's look at this charging network, and this will be the last thing that we're covering of Rivian. Rivian's Adventure Network, which is going to be more than 3,500 fast chargers at more than 600 sites by the end of 2023. And this is going to be all across the United States, including Alaska and Hawaii and even parts of Canada. And it says that the nationwide network of DC fast chargers are capable of adding up to 140 miles of range in 20 minutes to the R1T and R1S. Also, further reading into this, it says that this is exclusively for Rivian owners. Automatic charging, just pull up and plug in. In-vehicle navigation, automated plans charging rates of over 200 kilowatts initially and more than 300 kilowatts in the future, powered by 100% renewable energy, which is a great thing because we know how everybody just loves buying things right now that have renewable energy uses. That's a big thing with pretty much everything going on in the world. But everything with Rivian sounds absolutely amazing in my opinion. Now, is it worth a $70 billion valuation? Maybe. I mean, there are a lot of things here that sound great. Their whole charging network, that sounds amazing with more than 3,500 plus chargers by 2023. That's a big catalyst for this company, and especially with the whole thing that they have going on with Amazon, another giant catalyst, 100,000 vehicles. That's an insane order, and that's guaranteed because Amazon is also a big investor in this company. And plus, with Amazon and Ford and all the other people that are invested in this company, makes it more comfortable to invest into. And this sounds like a really great company, very good competitor to Tesla. It's going to be very interesting to see these bigger EV companies that are just coming out, like Rivian and Lucid Motors, how they're going to be competing with Tesla in the future. I think Rivian has a really good edge with everybody on being a really big competitor with Tesla, especially with the Cybertruck, with their vehicle kind of getting a little bit of a head start here, it's sounding like. So I'm very excited about all this. I think that there's a lot of great things to be coming here from Rivian. And closing thoughts here, I wouldn't think that Amazon would be invested into Rivian if it wasn't a great opportunity. So with all the money that Amazon's throwing into Rivian, all I can think is that Rivian really has something here, in my personal opinion. Amazon would not put as much money as they are into something that they don't have that much faith in. And I'd like to know how much money Amazon actually has invested into Rivian over time. I know it's got to be insane. So with that being said, I'd like to hear everybody's thoughts and opinions of Rivian. So please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you don't mind too. That would help me out a lot. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you all in the next video coming very soon.